Hey gang, Jason here for the love of tractors, and I'm back on planters. So I thought we would do the Kinze 3600 1631 splitter swing fold, whatever planter you want to call it. One of the coolest planters of all time, one of the coolest toys probably of all time. It's probably not going to stack up too well to the SpecCast offerings of recent, simply because of the increased detail that we've seen recently. But these planters were a sensation when they came out. So I think this is a great planter to do. So let's talk tractors, y'all. So it's spring here, obviously, and um, everybody's pretty well done planting around here. I say pretty well. I saw a few planters rolling this last weekend, but yeah, for the most part, everybody's done. So here is the Kinze 1631 3600 planter. And like I said, this thing was a revolution when it launched. To this point, we just had those crappy John Deere 6 rows, or yeah, 6 rows, 4 rows, I don't know, those crappy John Deere planters. And then we had like a 12-row John Deere front fold that just never looked great, and it was plastic, and it was kind of terrible. Then this came along, and like I said, it was huge. And of course, a lot of people run Kinze planters. We have 2 of these planters, so of course I had to go buy one. They were pricey at the time. You were going to pay, let's call it 30 to 35 bucks just for the planter at the time, and then those increased quite a bit after that. So let's just kind of take a look at it. So right now I have it in transport mode, which means it's folded this way, and this is all the way out. So to put it in field mode, we swing, and then we lower, and you can see it just slots in right on the wheels there, or right between the wheels there. So it's cool like that. And then also this slides in like that. Now you're ready to plant. So pretty cool. There's some engineering in the real one. There's a ton of engineering in the toy. There's a little bit of engineering to get all that to work, right? And to be durable and to be able to do it as many times as you want. So pretty cool, really. And then of course you've got your markers. They fold out just fine and all that, and they fit right up here in your little, your little holders. So like I said, not a super high detail planter by today's standards, but at the time, this was something. I mean, it really was. And I know a lot of you guys are old enough to remember that, but if you're not, this is a big deal. So you got a jack stand here, and I think, I kind of remember that this thing could maybe go up or down a little bit. I don't know for sure, but I feel like it could. Not much, but there was a little bit of play there. And then, of course, you've got all your individual row units, and you can see they're pretty nicely detailed there. We've got, you got your marker lights there, and you can see your cutter sort of ribs, if you will, and even the, gosh, I wish that would focus just a hair better. Even your rollers here have detail in them, and so do these back ones. So pretty cool. So over here is where your chain drives everything. Not a ton of detail there, but you can definitely see the sprockets and all that. And then here's sort of your drive wheel. And so that's pretty cool. And you get your SMV sign. The framework on these, I just always loved like this lattice work, this framework, to beef that up so that it could pick up, All right, take 2, had some camera issues. So anyway, as I was saying, you have to just imagine how strong this lattice work was to be able to lift this up, spin, full of seed, and travel down the road. And then sometimes guys would even put fertilizer tanks up here. So there was a lot of weight there. And so these frames and this lattice work were impressively strong to do that. Now they did have flex points in them, which is this. And when you're in the field, when you were in transport mode, you would lock those. You just like pull a hydraulic lever and it locks those. And then it wouldn't flex so much, but then when you were in the field, you would unlock them so that you could go over terraces or uneven surface, hills, things like that. Anyway, like I said, not Not a ton to go over here. It's not super detailed, but it's super cool. I mean, you can see your depth adjustment on your boxes, all that. I mean, it's just a neat planter, right? Just one of those cool pieces in time, um, in the history of farm toys, if you will. So let's give this a collector score. Value. Okay, so when this was new at, like, let's call it 30 to 35 bucks, 40 bucks, whatever, it was, that was a lot of money for toys back then, and especially when you consider the next most expensive planner was probably in the $10 price range. But it was a short line planner. It had the unique transport, if you will, and the big markers and all that other stuff. And it was really the only big 16-row planner available. So, I'm gonna go with a solid 6 on value. I don't think it's a great value, but it's not a bad value. Collectability. I think this gets really high collectability marks. One, it's they're all gone for the most part. You can find them out there, but you are gonna pay for them easily at this point, 3 figures often when you find one of these. So people want them, and there are a lot of Kinze planners out there, real ones, and farmers want them. I mean, that's why I want one. We've got them, and they want a toy, but there are not a lot of toys out there. Plus, it's a unique toy in the way that it transports, folds, all that good thing. Collectability, I think, is an 8. It is highly collectible. All right, detail. This is tough when you're dealing with a toy that's older like this. Back when this came out, this was really nicely detailed. Now, of course, today, this would have, hoses and chains and who knows what else, rails and whatever. I mean, there wouldn't be any rails on this, but there'd certainly be. Actually, let's just show you real quick. So this is the new planter from SpecCast, the new Kinze. It's nicely detailed. So, I don't know, but I think we have to keep in mind the time period this was made. So I'm gonna go with a solid 7 on my detail there. Quality. Well, this is a nice planter. Now, there's a lot of plastic here, and I think if you had it in a sunny spot or near a window, it would probably fade quite a bit, or at least enough that you would notice. But it's durable. I mean, like I said, you can fold and unfold that as many times as you want. You won't have any problems. The markers tend to stay put, even though they're just sort of snapped on here. Don't seem to have any problems with them. I feel like it's a durable piece. So I think quality, we're going to go again with a 7 on that. Okay, rarity. Well, I think it's fairly rare. Now, it's not impossible to get, but if you want it, you're going to pay for it. And they're not everywhere. You can go to a lot of toy shows and not see a single one of these. So there is some rarity here. So I think we're going to go with an 8 on rarity. So that means I need to do some math. Bear with me. I think, if my math is correct, that gives us a total collector score on this Kinze 3600 1631, a total score of 36. So again, we're getting close to 40, and I think the real highly sought after stuff is going to be in the 40s. I think this is good, good collector material here. So if you need a planner for your display, you might want to find one of these. You're going to pay for it. Like I said, they are definitely going up in value. I do think if you get one and you hang on to it for 5 or 6 years, it's only going to be more valuable. So these are fairly sought after planners. So, okay, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, and happy tractor hunting.